Greetings, family. Peace and blessings, brothers and sisters. Hope you all are doing well this evening. We are back here on G.O.C.C. Media for another stream of G.O.C.C. Fit. Let's make sure audio video is good before we get started tonight. Just let me know in the comments section that things are good, and we will go ahead and get started right away. If there's any issues, let me know what they are before we get started. All right, getting loud and clear. So it looks like everything is good to go. So let's go ahead and go right into tonight's information. Again, back here for another G.O.C.C. Fit for the Gathering of Christ Church. I am Brother and Elder Rawchaa. Let me get the title for this stream. All things vitamin E. All things vitamin E, as we continue in our series dealing with nutrition and fitness, our health, and vitamins A through Z. And as soon as we get through these vitamins, we're going to go into minerals next. All right, so just going in, giving some basic understanding when it comes to the importance of vitamins, where we can find them in our diet. Find them in nature, getting them naturally, which will help us to make sure that we're eating healthy, right? Healthy eating, healthy foods, whole foods, foods that come out of the earth, clean animal sources, right? All these different ways that we can get these in our diet. And what happens when we don't get these vitamins, these nutrients in our diet? All right, what happens to our health, right? And so we are here. Let me go ahead and bring up the sources I have here for you all. All right, so we have on Harvard.edu School of Public Health, vitamin E. And we last spoke about vitamin D. Okay, and so here we are now with vitamin E. Now, just real quick, a disclaimer: I'm not a doctor, I'm not a physician or a medical practitioner. I am a certified personal trainer, certified nutritionist, and certified health coach. All right, so for me, I'm just going over some basic understanding when it comes to health and the things that I've learned over the years, as well as with my certifications that I have attained, and really just dealing with the fundamentals and building blocks of health. Okay, I don't think that it necessarily requires us to go that deep when it comes to things going on with our health. A lot of it stems around our weight and whether or not we are overweight. And for some of us, this society has normalized overweight, so you may think that you're not overweight when in actuality you are. And a lot of that just comes from too much fast food, too much processed food, too much junk food, not enough whole food. All right, and these things have led us to overeating, searching for things like vitamin E. Our body is designed to crave the things that it needs. So when you're having these cravings and you're eating and eating and eating and you never feel like you can get enough, okay, then that means that there's something that the body is still seeking that it's not getting with what you're eating. Or as we have also done broadcasts on the obesity demon. All right. You may be eating for something or someone else, a spirit who is, gluttonous in nature. And with demons and evil spirits bring sickness, disease, and death. So, and their job is to kill, steal, and destroy. Okay, so ultimately, if they destroy you in the process while getting their taste buds satisfied, then that's what they'll love to do. So we have to be mindful of that. And so here we are, vitamin E. Let's go ahead and go into it. What is vitamin E? Vitamin E is a fat-soluble vitamin with several forms, but alpha tocopherol is the only one used by the human body. Its main role is to act as an antioxidant, scavenging loose electrons, so-called free radicals that can damage cells. So we talk about, things that can oxidize the cells. When the cell is being oxidized, it means that it is speeding up the process of the cell dying. All right, so you want the cell to live. The longer your cells live, the longer you live. Okay, when your cells are dying, you're dying. And of course, over time, as you age, your cells are going to die, but you want your cells to live as long as they can. Well, vitamin E is one of those vitamins that if you're getting is going to make sure that it keeps those free radicals, okay, those things that can oxidize the cells. It keeps those free radicals from damaging and killing the cell, okay? It also enhances immune function and prevents clots from forming in heart arteries. Antioxidant vitamins, including vitamin E, came to public attention in the 1980s when scientists began to understand that free radical damage was involved in the early stages of artery clogging, atherosclerosis, and might also contribute to cancer, vision loss, and a host of other chronic conditions. Vitamin E has also the ability to protect cells from free radical damage as well as reduce the production of free radicals in certain situations. However, conflicting study results have dimmed some of the promise of using high-dose vitamin E to prevent chronic diseases. All right, so we're going to go through all of these things and more, but first thing we must see here is that vitamin E is a fat-soluble vitamin. Okay, we've talked about the different types of vitamins. You have your fat-soluble vitamins, which are stored in the liver. And you don't necessarily have to get those vitamins as frequently because they can be stored versus your water-soluble vitamins, which are actually, they're transported through water, through your blood and those type of things. And dissipate quickly in the body. So those vitamins you need, which are typically your B vitamins, your C, vitamin C, they had to be pretty much attained daily because they're not stored in the body. All right, and also vitamin E being a fat-soluble vitamin, meaning that it's transported through fats, lipids. Okay, so you need healthy fats in your diet so that fat-soluble vitamins can actually be utilized. All right, one moment here. And I know I see some questions, so if you just make sure that you are paying close attention to the information that's coming out tonight. I believe it will answer majority, if not all, your questions, hopefully. Okay, so of course it has here the recommended amounts of vitamin E if you're going to supplement. Now we talk about food sources. All right, where can we find vitamin E in nature outside of taking supplements? Well, we have here vitamin E is found in plant-based oils, nuts, seeds, fruits, and vegetables. So we have wheat germ oil, sunflower, safflower, and soybean oil, sunflower seeds, almonds, peanuts, peanut butter. So as you can already see, a lot of these things that we're mentioning are already containing levels of fats. Your seeds, your nuts, right? You also have beet greens, collard greens, spinach, pumpkin, red bell pepper, asparagus, mango, and avocado, or just to name a few. Now on the screen here, you will see shrimp, okay? And of course, being that we follow the Bible and the Levitical dietary law in Leviticus chapter 11, we would not tell people to get vitamin E from eating shrimp or any type of unclean animal. But nonetheless, it exists in nature still here. And so that's why you see it here on this list, because, you know, some people out there who don't know about the dietary law or don't care to follow it eat shrimp. They eat shellfish, but not here, right? So I just wanted to make that disclaimer real quick. So signs of deficiency. Because vitamin E is found in a variety of foods and supplements, a deficiency in the U.S. is rare. People who have digestive disorders or do not absorb fat properly can develop a vitamin E deficiency. The following are common signs of a deficiency. You have retinopathy, damage to the retina of the eyes that can impair vision, peripheral neuropathy, damage to the peripheral nerves, usually in the hands or feet, causing weakness or pain, ataxia, loss of control of body movements, and decreased immune function. So I would say probably the biggest place where you're going to see issues with vitamin E deficiency is probably going to be your immune system. All right, your immune system. And we're going to talk about some other areas of concern when dealing with a deficiency with vitamin E. Okay. You also have concerns of toxicity when it comes to vitamin E. One second here. There is no evidence of toxic effects from vitamin E found naturally in food. So again, typically if you're eating a well-balanced diet, you don't have to worry about having issues of getting too much vitamin E. Most adults who obtain more than the RDA of 22 IU daily are using multivitamins or separate vitamin E supplements that contain anywhere from 400 to 1,000 IU daily. There have not been reports of harmful side effects of supplement use in healthy people. So basically with vitamin E, it's kind of hard to have any type of toxic effects from having too much vitamin E, even supplementing. But that doesn't mean that you should overdo it. Okay? And we'll talk more later about how much vitamin E you should have in your diet and whether or not you should supplement it. It says here, however, there is a risk of excess bleeding, particularly with doses greater than 1,000 milligrams daily, or if an individual is also using a blood thinning medication such as warfarin. For this reason, an upper limit for vitamin E has been set for adults 19 years and older of 1,000 milligrams daily, or 1465 IU of any form of tocopherol supplement. All right, so there is a debate, scientists debate whether or not supplements can be harmful or even increase the risk of death. So they've done studies, okay, on this to determine whether or not, there is any any actual risk of, a high level of supplementation of vitamin E. You will have these links. I will put these links in the description box of this video later. So if you would like to read the studies and all those type of things are going to be there for you, but we're not going to go into studies, at least not on this particular article here. So the next article we have 8 unique benefits of vitamin E. Okay, so what are some of the good things that vitamin does for us? This is on healthline.com. It says here, though even vitamin E is often thought of as a single compound, it's actually a group of 8 fat-soluble compounds with powerful antioxidant effects. Of these 8 chemical forms, alpha tocopherol best meets the dietary requirements of humans. Okay, so just some good FYI, some did you knows that there are 8 different forms of vitamin E, but really there's only one form that actually people should be focused in on, because that's really the only one that we really use as people. Of course, it says here places you can find it. Vitamin E exists naturally in certain foods, including seeds, nuts, some vegetables, and some fortified products. You can also take it as a dietary supplement. It plays many roles in your body. It's perhaps best known for its antioxidant effects, protecting your cells from oxidative damage by neutralizing harmful molecules called free radicals. In addition, it's needed for proper immune function and cellular signaling. Okay, so if nothing else, vitamin E is going to boost your immune system, keep your immune system strong, and it's going to keep your cells from dying, which is going to in turn cause you to live longer. Okay, so if nothing else, that's what vitamin E is going to do for you. That's why it's not surprising that research suggests that vitamin E supplements may benefit your health in several ways. This article covers 8 potential benefits of vitamin E. May reduce markers of oxidative stress and improve antioxidant defenses. Oxidative stress is a condition that occurs when there's an imbalance between your body's antioxidant defenses and the production and accumulation of compounds called reactive oxygen species, or ROS. This can lead to cellular damage and increased disease risk. Because vitamin E acts as a powerful antioxidant in the body, studies have shown that supplementing with high doses of it can reduce markers of oxidative stress and boost antioxidant defenses in some populations. For example, a 2018 study in 54 people with diabetic nephropathy, kidney damage caused by high blood sugar, found that supplementing with 800 IU of vitamin E per day for 12 weeks significantly increased levels of glutathione peroxidase compared with a placebo. Okay, so we're talking about diabetes. Those who, they say have diabetes. Those who could have possibly kidney damage caused by high blood sugar. Vitamin E significantly increased GPX to help them with this particular issue. GPX is a group of antioxidant enzymes that protect your cells from oxidative damage. It also showed in this study that combining vitamin E and vitamin C daily for 8 weeks reduced markers of oxidative stress. Okay. Also, number 2, may reduce heart disease risk factors. Having high blood pressure and high levels of blood lipids such as LDL, which is bad cholesterol, and triglycerides may increase your risk of developing heart disease. So LDL is the bad cholesterol. okay, low density lipids. Okay, you have HDL, high density lipids, which are your good cholesterol. All right, but when you have high blood pressure, high levels of bad cholesterol, this can lead to heart disease. Okay, so promisingly, research suggests that vitamin E supplements may help reduce heart disease risk factors such as these in some people. So if you have high blood pressure, maybe heart issues, making sure that you're taking maybe vitamin E. You may not necessarily need to take it every day, but if you're taking it at least a few times through the week to help boost your vitamin E throughout the week, maybe every other day, then now you can help yourself when it comes to escaping or avoiding the risks of heart disease and things like high blood pressure, right? And then it goes into the study of people that took the vitamin E supplements and they reduced their blood pressure readings. Some studies also show that taking vitamin E with omega-3 supplements may reduce LDL and triglyceride levels in people with metabolic syndrome, a cluster of conditions including high blood fat levels that increase the risk of heart disease and other health conditions. What else does vitamin E help with? Number 3, may benefit those with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, which is NAFLD. And this includes a number of conditions that cause an accumulation of fat in the liver in people who drink little or no alcohol. So of course we know that people who drink a lot of alcohol can end up with liver disease. Well, people who don't drink alcohol can also get this similar condition. According to research findings, vitamin E supplements may improve some aspects of health in people with NAFLD. All right, so it can also help your liver. A 2021 review of 8 studies found that supplementing with vitamin E reduced levels of the liver enzymes ALT and AST, decreased blood lipid levels, and improve liver health in people with NAFLD. So if you have liver issues, somebody has issues with their liver, maybe you're doing some detoxing and things like that, may need to look into vitamin E supplementation. Get that extra vitamin E in your diet. It also says that the elevated AST and ALT levels can indicate liver inflammation and damage in people with NAFLD, so lower levels are favorable. All right. Number 4, may help manage dysmenorrhea. Hope I'm saying that right. These words are very, scientific and medical terms here. Dysmenorrhea is a condition characterized by severe and frequent menstrual pain, such as cramps and pelvic pain. So our sisters out there, right? Something that you may want to look into. If you're experiencing a lot of issues with your menstrual, such as pain, cramps, pain in your pelvis. It says here, promisingly, research suggests vitamin E supplements may reduce pain in women with this condition. Okay, it goes into the study. Also says a combination of vitamin E and vitamin C daily helped to reduce this severity in women. All right. Other potential health benefits, 5 through 8. May benefit skin health. Okay, vitamin E supplements may be helpful for those with certain skin disorders, such as eczema. Okay, so a lot of times you'll see vitamin E in skin products, hair products. So it's like a hygienic or nourishing vitamin also for the skin, keeping in mind that the skin is a form of cholesterol. It's made out of a form of cholesterol, which are fats, and so it only makes sense that vitamin E would help the skin, being that it's a fat-soluble vitamin. Okay, so pretty sure a lot of you out there are familiar seeing vitamin E in some of your skincare and your hygiene products. Number 6, may benefit cognitive health. Maintaining optimal vitamin E levels and taking supplements may help protect against cognitive decline. Okay. Number 7, may benefit older adults. Okay, it plays important roles in health, such as reducing inflammation. Very important that we're not dealing with inflammation in our bodies. Okay, because that's a condition that brings about sickness and disease. Also improving immune function. Number 8, may improve lung function. So children who have asthma, adults who have asthma, vitamin E may help you with your breathing. Okay, so if you're dealing with any of these issues, look to get some vitamin E supplementation in your diet. Look for a natural form, hopefully a phytonutrient. Phyto means plant, a plant-based. Of course, it would need the fats in it as well in order to work, but just a natural vitamin E supplement, not a synthetic one. Okay, you don't want to take synthetic supplements. You want something that's, they've derived it from nature, and it's just a concentrated dosage of vitamin E if you're dealing with any of these issues, and it may actually help you out or alleviate it altogether. All right, then it goes into how much you should take. It goes into the deficiencies we've talked about is rare unless you have an issue with absorbing fats. Okay, so if you have anything cystic fibrosis or Crohn's disease, you have an issue with fat malabsorption, then of course you're going to have issues probably not only with vitamin E but other fat soluble vitamins too. Okay, because they're in the fats, and so if you can't absorb the fats, then you can't get those vitamins. Let's see. So now that we've gone through that, we want to bring up our document that we like to go into from the WHO, World Health Organization. Vitamin and mineral requirements in human nutrition, the second edition. Very, very scientific document. So if you're somebody who likes the science, likes all the scientific terminology and all those type of things, then, definitely you can come here and knock yourself out, right? But we're going to try to keep it on a layman's level, not try to go too deep, and just try to keep it real simple for people. Because, that other extra deep stuff is more so just, kind of interesting to know, but not necessarily what really is going to help you in your understanding, but more so kind of giving you the scientific method behind how it really works, right? Here we have role of vitamin E in human metabolic processes. Right, let me blow this up a little bit more. A large body of scientific evidence indicates that reactive free radicals are involved in many diseases, including heart disease and cancers. Now, you notice how pretty much all of the vitamins we talked about, a lot of the things we talked about with health. It typically always revolves around things like cancer, diseases, heart disease, right? Because if the cells aren't getting the proper nutrients, then they're going to mutate. There's going to be a mutation that happens, right? And once the cells start to mutate, then that's when cancer comes in. Because now the cells are doing something different than what they're supposed to do. They're missing something that allows them to function, to carry out processes within the cells. So then they mutate, and that forms tumors and cancers, or they die. Okay, and leading to disease and things like that, right? It says here, cells contain many potentially oxidizable substrates such as polyunsaturated fatty acids, okay, or PUFAs, proteins, and DNA. So our DNA, of course, is in our cells. So it's important that you're protecting your DNA. All right, your DNA are the instructions for your cells, how they function, your genetic code, what you pass down to your children. For those who are actually, going through the reproductive phase of having children, you want to pass down healthy DNA to your children, right? Well, if you're dealing with diseases, cancers, your cells are oxidizing, then all this has a potential to get damaged. And now you're passing down damaged DNA. And this is where you start to see children who are born with defects. Okay, born, retarded, autisms, all these different things start to come in with children that are born without, because the DNA isn't there to provide and give them the instructions of, growing in the mother's womb the appropriate way, right? It says, therefore, a complex antioxidant defense system normally protects cells from the injurious effects of endogenously produced free radicals, as well as from species of exogenous origin, such as cigarette smoke and pollutants. So, also living in a toxic environment. Okay, we're living in an environment where you have pollution. You might be around somebody or in a place where they're smoking cigarettes and you're breathing in that secondhand smoke. Or you may smoke cigarettes, which you shouldn't be, but for those that are out there smoking cigarettes, understanding you're bringing free radicals into your body, things that are going to cause your cells to break down and form cancer. That's the reason why when you look on a cigarette box, it says it may cause cancer. Okay, but some of these things are in our environment because of just the way our society is. So how does your body protect itself from these things? Well, you have a antioxidant defense system. All right, so now we're leading up to how vitamin E plays a role in all this. It says, should our exposure to free radicals exceed the protective capacity of the antioxidant defense system, a phenomenon often referred to as oxidative stress, then damage to biological molecules may occur. There is considerable evidence that disease causes an increase in oxidative stress. Therefore, consumption of foods rich in antioxidants, which are potentially able to quench or neutralize excess radicals, may play an important role in modifying the development of disease. Vitamin E is the major lipid-soluble antioxidant in the cell antioxidant defense system and is exclusively obtained from the diet. Okay, so vitamin E is the sole authority, the sole defense mechanism when it comes to the antioxidant defense system in our diets. The term vitamin E refers to a family of 8 naturally occurring homologues that are synthesized by plants from homogenistic acid. Okay, so again, even though vitamin E may not necessarily be the vitamin that everybody thinks about that's important that we should have, understand that when it comes to oxidative stress, okay, it's the king of oxidative stress prevention and fighting off oxidizing of the cells. It says here, vitamin E is an example of a phenolic antioxidant. The major biological role of vitamin E is to protect PUFAs, okay, which are fatty acids, and other components of cell membranes and low-density lipoprotein from oxidation by free radicals. So remember, the LDL is the bad cholesterol. So we want vitamin E to protect the membranes of the bad cholesterol. You don't want your bad cholesterol breaking down in your body. You still have it in you and you still need it, but you don't want this form of lipid or fat breaking down in your body through oxidation, or through free radicals. That's going to be serious issues with disease and cancers. It says here, it is particularly effective in preventing lipid peroxidation, a series of chemical reactions involving the oxidative deterioration of PUFAs, fatty acids. Okay, so vitamin E protects things from breaking down in the body. Okay, so if you're not having if you're missing vitamin E, what's going to happen? Things in your body are going to break down. All right, they're going to break down. Mutations are going to start to happen. Right now, disease is setting in. It says here, populations at risk for vitamin E deficiency. There are many signs of vitamin E deficiency in animals, most of which are related to damage to cell membranes and the leakage of cell contents to external fluids. See, so now when you don't have vitamin E, stuff's breaking down, your cells are breaking down, and they're leaking, right? The cell contents are now leaking out into your bloodstream, into other fluids outside the cells. You see that? And that's not what you want. Disorders provoked by traces of peroxidized PUFAs in the diets of animals with low vitamin E status include cardiac or skeletal myopathies, neuropathies, and liver necrosis. Okay, so again, and they're doing this studying off animals that are missing or lacking vitamin E in their diets. They're going to have cardiac issues, which is your heart, okay, your circulatory system, skeletal issues, which are your bones, your spine, right? Neuropathies, which are neural issues, which is your brain and your nerves, and liver necrosis. So now liver issues, all these things we spoke about earlier. Now your liver, which is one of the biggest organs in your body that filters pretty much everything, does most of the filtering in the body. It releases bile and things like that. So now you're having liver issues. Okay, now those toxins and things in your body can't get filtered. Those pollutants can't be filtered to get out of there, right? Muscle and neurological problems are also a consequence of human vitamin E deficiency. The assessment of the vitamin E requirement for humans is confounded by the very rare occurrence of clinical signs of deficiency, because these usually only develop in infants and adults with fat malabsorption syndromes or liver disease, in individuals with genetic anomalies in transport or binding proteins, and possibly in premature infants. This suggests that diets contain sufficient vitamin E to satisfy nutritional needs. So a person may say, well, wait a minute. If most diets contain enough vitamin E, then what's the big deal? Well, it says most diets. It doesn't mean your diet contains enough for vitamin E to satisfy what you need. Also, you have those who may have a particular condition, medical condition. Okay, something may be in your body, there's a problem. And so now it could be that vitamin E, which would be the adequate amount for somebody who doesn't have that condition, now your condition may mean that you now must supplement with vitamin E, because what you would get normally in a healthy diet isn't enough. You see what I'm saying? So it's important to know your body, to know, okay, based upon what this particular vitamin is, based upon what's going on in my body, is this something that I need to actually supplement daily or whatever frequency? I would suggest that it would probably be very beneficial to have a vitamin E supplement and take it a couple times a week outside of what you would get in your diet, just for the boosting of the immune system, what it does for the immune system, as well as, let me check on something here real quick. I just got a error message here. I want to make sure you all aren't having any streaming issues. Okay. If there's no issues, I'll go ahead and pick back up. All right, so I would suggest that, just for the immune and the antioxidant properties, the powerful properties that vitamin E has, that you take it maybe twice a week, right? Just for that extra boost, especially if you're, maybe sick, dealing with, you got a cold or a flu or something. You're dealing with, something that is going on, that just for the properties, for what it does for the immune system and for the antioxidant defense system, I would suggest that you once to twice a week get a vitamin E supplement just for that extra boost, but for those who aren't supplementing, it is probably not going to be the end of the world. And for those who are maybe taking high dosages of it, it's also shown that it doesn't cause overdose in any type of way. So sometimes you may need to just an extra boost, and you're taking high levels of vitamin E for a particular time, because whatever's going on, you need it, and then you may not need it, and you may lay off of it. So these things, definitely talk with your doctor about, your physician and all of that. But just, common understanding, common knowledge, maybe increasing these particular type of foods in your diet. If you're not supplementing, you're needing to boost your immune system, and and you want to make sure that your antioxidant levels are high to keep your cells from the oxidative stress. Then you just make sure that you keep these foods here on your screen in your diet, and you'll probably pretty much cover your vitamin E needs, right? It says here, Work with several animal models suggests that increasing intakes of vitamin E inhibits the progression of vascular disease by preventing the oxidation of LDL, right? The bad cholesterol. It is thought that oxidized lipoprotein is a key event in the development of the atheromatoous plaque, which may ultimately occlude the blood vessel. So now when this bad cholesterol starts breaking down in the body because the vitamin E isn't there to keep it from being oxidized, now you start to develop plaque in your blood vessels. Okay, and now when it comes to the blood pumping through your blood vessels, it's a smaller pathway, it's a tighter tunnel and path for that blood to flow, which now increases blood pressure, hypertension, and would lead to increased risk of stroke, heart attack, and these type of things. So, people who are dealing with issues with strokes, heart attacks, things like that, may need to look into vitamin E supplementation. Okay. Also can lead to obesity, because now that blood isn't moving the way it should be moving, and your blood is moving slower, which is going to cause everything to move slow, and therefore you're not going to be able to, get rid of the calories or get rid of the waste in your body the way that you should, and it can accumulate and cause being overweight, right? It says here, it has also been suggested that vitamin E supplementation may be appropriate therapeutically to moderate some aspects of degenerative diseases such as Parkinson's disease, reduce the severity of neurological disorders such as tardive dyskinesia, prevent periventricular hemorrhage in preterm babies, reduce tissue injury arising from ischemia and reperfusion during surgery, delay cataract development, and improve mobility in arthritis sufferers. All right. Dietary sources and possible limitations to vitamin E supply. Okay, so just going back over it again, because vitamin E is naturally present in plant-based diets and animal products and is often added by manufacturers to vegetable oils and processed foods, intakes are probably adequate to avoid overt deficiency in most situations. So a lot of times, like when you see your oils, you'll see them add vitamin E to like your different oils, right? Now, that's a whole other topic when we talk about oil and oils in our diets. Not all oil is created equal, okay? So just because, I'm getting vegetable oil in my diet and it's got vitamin E added to it, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's what you want. It just means you're getting vitamin E, but not in the way that maybe you should be getting it with that particular form of that type of oil in your diet. Vegetable oils, seed oils, have to be careful and know the actual fat profile, which we'll probably do a whole broadcast on the different types of fats, the understanding of fats, so that you understand that there are good fats, but there are definitely bad ones. It says here, exceptions may be during ecological disasters and cultural conflicts resulting in food deprivation and famine. So of course, if you're in a scenario where the food isn't, it's tainted or it's not normal the way it should be, then you're gonna be malnourished. And vitamin E, of course, would be something you could be malnourished from. Analysis of the FAO country food balance sheets indicates that about half the tocopherol is in a typical Northern European diet, such as in the UK, and it's derived from vegetable oils. Animal fats, vegetables, and meats each contribute about 10% to the total per capita supply, and fruit, nuts, cereals, and dairy products each contribute about 4%. Eggs, fish, and pulses contribute less than 2% each. All right. Let's see if we have anything else here as we're getting to the end of this stream here. So toxicity. Vitamin E appears to have very low toxicity, and amounts of 100 to 200 milligrams of the synthetic alpha tocopherol are consumed widely as supplements. Nevertheless, the recent report from the Netherlands of increased severity of respiratory tract infections in persons over 60 years who received 200 milligrams vitamin E per day for 15 months should be noted in case that is also an indication of a pro-oxidant effect. So as you can see here, you had people who were over 60 taking 200 milligrams of vitamin E per day for 15 months. That's a long time. So you really don't want to take it like that unless your doctor is telling you to. All right, because it's going to build up. Because remember, it's a fat soluble vitamin. It's stored in your body. It's going to build up. So taking it every day for 15 months straight isn't normal for most people. That's why I said if you're taking it a couple times a week, you're giving your body a break to where, if you do have it abundantly in your diet, you're not overdoing it, but you are making sure that you're getting it to help for the immunity and the antioxidant effect, right? And so that not only concludes the information from the vitamin and mineral requirements in human nutrition, second edition by the WHO, that also concludes our G.O.C.C. Fit stream for this evening. All things vitamin E. Pretty simple when it comes to understanding vitamin E, what its purpose is for, immune system, cardiovascular health, antioxidant, very, very powerful antioxidant, very, very good in your skincare products and things like that is really what vitamin E is going to be there for. And so I hope those who have tuned in this evening have found the information edifying. And we will continue down this path and this journey of health and fitness when it comes to all things nutrition, concerning the nutrients, vitamins, minerals in our diet. So hopefully this answers, those people who out there had questions. It should cover pretty much, all your questions that, at least majority that you would have when it comes to vitamin E. If you have any other questions, I suggest you contact your doctor or your physician when it comes to vitamin E, outside of what was covered in this stream. All right. So thank you all for tuning in this evening. And until next time, we'll see you for another stream here for the Gathering of Christ Church for G.O.C.C. Fit. Shalom.